You turned out fine. That's what they said. That's what you tell yourself. But there's a version of you that never got to exist. A version that wasn't anxious in relationships. That didn't apologize for taking up space. That didn't confuse love with pain. And you don't even know you're grieving that version because no one hit you. No one locked you in a room. Nothing that bad ever happened. And that's exactly why this is so dangerous. Most people think toxic parenting looks like abuse, screaming, violence, addiction, and sometimes it does. But the damage that goes completely undetected. It looks like love. It looks like a parent who was always there but always had to control everything. A parent who provided everything but made you feel guilty for needing anything. A parent who said, "I love you," right after making you feel worthless. Psychologists call this emotional inconsistency. But let's call it what it actually is. Your nervous system learned that love is unpredictable. And when your nervous system learns that as a child, you spend the rest of your life waiting for the people you love to turn on you, even when they never do. Sounds small. It's not. Here's something nobody talks about. Children of toxic parents become experts at reading the room, not because they're gifted, because they had to be. When you grow up walking on eggshells, you learn to scan faces, read tones, notice the silence before the explosion. You got very, very good at detecting danger. And now, you do it in every room you walk into. You read every text message 3 times. You prepare for conversations that haven't happened yet. You know something's wrong before anyone says a word. People call it intuition. It's not intuition. It's hypervigilance. It's your childhood survival skill, running on a loop in a world that no longer requires it. The kid who had to keep the peace became the adult who can never find peace. Think about this. What happened when you cried as a child? Were you comforted? Or were you told to stop? You're too sensitive. Why are you making such a big deal out of this? After everything I've done for you, those sentences did something to you. They taught you that your emotions were a burden, that feeling things deeply was a flaw. So you learned to swallow it, smile, move on, be fine. And now you're an adult who doesn't know what they feel until it explodes out of nowhere. Or worse, an adult who feels everything but apologizes for it immediately after. You share something vulnerable and then say, "Sorry, that was a lot." No, it wasn't too much. You were just never given permission to take up emotional space. And that's the problem. This one's uncomfortable. If you grew up with a toxic parent, there's a very high chance you've sabotaged a good relationship. Not because you wanted to, because it felt wrong. When someone is consistently kind to you, your nervous system doesn't feel safe. It feels boring. It feels suspicious. It feels like something bad is about to happen. Because as a child, calm was never just calm. Calm was the moment before the storm. So now, when you find someone who loves you without conditions, a part of you starts pulling away, picking fights, testing them, waiting for them to show their real face. Because the chaos, that feels familiar. And familiar feels like home, even when home was the most dangerous place you've ever been. Here's the part nobody wants to hear. Your toxic parent probably didn't set out to damage you. Most of them were damaged first. They passed down what was handed to them: fear, control, emotional unavailability, because that's all they knew. That doesn't make it okay. But it means the cycle is older than you think. And here's the counterintuitive part. Forgiving them is not about them. Forgiveness isn't saying what they did was fine. It's refusing to let their unhealed wounds live inside your body forever. Because right now, in some of your habits, in the way you speak to yourself, in the relationships you choose, they are still parenting you. Every time you tell yourself you're too much. Every time you shrink. Every time you accept less than you deserve. That's not you. That's an echo. Now I want you to stop thinking about your parents for a second and think about yourself. Because here's the real question. What kind of voice lives inside your head? When you make a mistake, what do you say to yourself? When you need help, do you ask or do you go silent? When someone loves you, do you believe them? If the voice inside your head sounds like criticism, if needing something feels shameful, if love always feels temporary, then the damage isn't just in your past. It's in your present. it's in how you parent yourself right now. And most people never look at that dot. They spend years angry at their parents and zero time asking how they've inherited the role. The most uncomfortable truth in psychology? We often become the parent we never wanted, not always with children, but with ourselves. The way you punish yourself for failure, the way you push through pain without rest, the way you never feel like enough. Sound familiar? Here's the truth no one says out loud. You didn't come out of that house broken, you came out adapted. You adapted to chaos, to silence, to love that came with conditions. And adaptation is impressive, until it becomes a prison. Because the same armor that protected you as a child is the exact thing suffocating you as an adult. The walls you built to survive them, you're still living inside them. Long after they're gone. Long after you moved on. Long after you swore you'd never be like them. And the cruelest part? You don't even see the walls anymore. They just feel like you. That's the real damage. Not the memories. Not even the pain. It's that somewhere along the way you started mistaking their voice for your own. So the question isn't, did my parents damage me? The question is, which parts of me are actually mine? And that question will either terrify you or finally set you free. The wound was never the end of your story, but pretending it doesn't exist guarantees it writes the rest of it.